Hello everyone, welcome to Endeavours. It's Saturday the 17th of January. As always, if you'd like to jump ahead straight to one Endeavour that you're looking for, just check the description or the timestamps below. So this said here, I would say the only one I would skip is Battlegrounds. I think for a 15 seal Endeavour, you can do the weeklies quicker than this thing. It's just fucking not acceptable in this day and age. I've also got the Golden Vendor at the end of the video. There's one jewelry piece necklace that's interesting. Everything else I'd say is very skippable. And yeah, one of the monster sets is good, but it's shoulders, so I wouldn't really bother with that stuff. But yeah, so I'd go provisioning, structure furnishings, mementos. You can basically do all these things here in a couple of minutes. No combat required or anything. Iron Atronachs is quite a pain, but it's definitely going to be quicker than this one here. And use High Isle as a DLC if you've got it, or use Greymoor's Delve. I'll go through that when we get to Iron Atronachs, or the worst case scenario is just use the base gun option in Vardenfell, Forgotten Waste. But this will be a worse option than these other three here. These are super duper easy. The only thing that will get in the way of these ones here is just you need a bit of gold. You're going to need probably 2 grand, 1,500 in total, maybe less than that. It just mostly depends on this one here, or you need a bit of time. But even if you need to go do a public dungeon for a memento, it's still going to be probably quicker than doing this one here by a long shot. Even this one here is probably going to be quicker if you have to do the public dungeon even. Alright, starting with provisioning. With this one here, the way I like to do this is to buy a couple of recipes which require just apples and bananas, which you can easily source without having to steal anything or pay any gold. Just the initial investment of these recipes is all you need to spend. That's a couple of 100 gold each. Now in the description there will be just like an Endeavours prep for getting yourself some gold. It will take a little bit of time, but you only have to do this gold investment and this gold investment, as well as this one here as well, just once. And then for the rest of the time, anytime these Endeavours come up, you can just do this any time. And it's like, basically as soon as you log in, you can just do all this stuff here. And yeah, it's like you don't have to really do much. So go to any chef in the game. Both of these options here, the ways to do this will be in Auridon, in Vocal Guard. So this one here, this way shrine, you unlock as soon as you create a character, so you can just jump straight to this place whenever you feel like it. So just talk to the chef here, Zala, in the... Sorry, I've already forgotten what it's called, Salted Wings Tavern. You don't have to talk to her, but this is just the most convenient one. Baked apples here, banana surprise, these are the 2 recipes you want to look at. So just buy these ones, use them up. You don't need to have any levels in provisioning. It will unlock the skill line once you use one, but literally you don't need anything. Basically, level 1 provisioning, you'll be able to use both of these recipes straight away. That's why I suggest them. And whenever you're ready, just head to this here, over here. It's the square-shaped one at the docks, just to the east of the tavern. There will be this tray here, which has some bananas and apples on it. Just grab these. That should... Just the bananas alone is usually enough, but you might... Sometimes some of the items are just not there. It's just a weird way containers work in this game. There's an apple basket here, and then there's another apple basket over here in this corner. From all that stuff, you've got the cooking fire here. Once you've used your recipes, just go to food, and you'll find them both in fruit dishes here. So you can just go 4 here, and then craft that. That's the provisioning Endeavour done. Just like that. Now, if you want to do the Golden Pursuit option, which is 50, there are 2 things you can do. You can just use this stuff here over and over, because it's not stolen, right? So you don't have to worry about guards pulling over for bounties and shit. It's just all free stuff. What you can do is you can leave the zone and come back. I'll show you something that you can do to cheese this a little bit. If you enter Imperial City and then leave, it will bring you back right to the spot you're on, and it will reset the containers. So those apple baskets and the tray will have more stuff in them. And you can just repeat this process as many times as you want. You can do this exactly the same for the other option, which I'll show you in a minute. The apple basket and the apple orchids in Craglorn. You can see the tray's got some more stuff in it. But yeah, that option there, everything's stolen, so you can get a bounty. And it can be quite painful over there, so you want to be very careful with the bounty. But it is another good option. There's also another cooking station here. And when you go into the chef's area, there is a cooking fire in there too. So if you want to get the items and then buy the recipes, you can do that too. There's no big problem. Alright, so the other option is in Kraglon. Only do this if you want to do the crafting with any skill option for the Golden Pursuit at the same time. Yeah, it's good if you want to do both. So you want to head... sorry, I'm on the wrong way. You want to head like sort of just directly south and a little bit east over here. You'll see some apple trees down here. That's what you're looking for, these ones here. So there is a shit ton of apple baskets here. So you can just loot all of these. You just have to be careful. There is a guard here and there's an NPC. As long as you stay stealth like this and make sure you're hidden, not detected like this, just give it a second to enter stealth. Sometimes it bugs out. Just take from these, and that's apples as well. From here, once you've looted all these, do the same thing as I just showed you with Imperial City. Go there and then go back. Should reset all the apple baskets and have stuff in them. You can go over here to the tavern. Actually, probably go through this door, I think. Actually, I don't think it matters. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So go into this room here, you'll see a chef in here, and then there's a cooking fire here, which you can use your apples for baked apples here. There's a lot of apples you can get. You can get like 20 to 30 in a single run. So just a few of those is more than enough to complete the Golden Pursuit for crafting with any skill. So there's one found here. So if you'd like to head to Kraglon, if you've never been here before, there will not be any way shrines unlocked as soon as you get here, so you need to use Home Tours. Home Tours, there's a video in the description, just an Endeavors prep that just explains how it works. It's really handy, it's just like having a bunch of extra way shrines as soon as you start the game. You've got these homes here, you can just travel to one of them. As soon as you enter Kraglon from any of these houses here, Belkarth Way Shrine will be unlocked. You could also just go L&M Private Arena, head west, and head straight over here. Once you've been here for the first time, it's really easy to use this place in the future. This place is great because there's a couple of other things. You've got laundering items is really easy here for the future. Same with just like taking stuff. There are other places, but that one's really easy to use. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the Mementos option. Also really easy, and you just need to buy one thing and then it's ready to go. The only issue is Mementos is going to probably be a little bit more expensive to sort out first, unless you want to find some. Every public dungeon has a memento that you can take if you complete the main quest in that public dungeon. I'll go through one of those options as well, if you want to do that instead. But there is one you can just buy. If you can buy this option here, it's better, because it just means less running around at start. So just let me open this up. So we'll go Tamriel Trade Center. You want to use this to find your items. So as an example on EU, the item you're looking for is called Cherry Blossom Branch. Cherry Blossom. I cannot type right now. So Cherry Blossom Twig. It's this thing here, Cherry Blossom Branch. This rune box. So there's a couple, yeah, you can see quite a few here for 1,500. I know that is a small investment, but it's a one-time purchase and then you never have to worry about this endeavor again, basically. So if you've done enough of the Golden Pursuit to get the 30 grand, I'd advise spending a little bit of that on this, because then you've got an easy endeavor to do without costing anything and like taking any time. Basically, just as soon as you log in, you can just do this. So I'll link this this website in the description if you want to have a look. Just buy that. The other option, the only other one I would personally look at, is going to Malavel Tor and doing Crimson Cove, the quest in here. Even if you have to just like rush past all the enemies, have them kill you, and then respawn when you get to one of the objectives, I think maybe there's like one boss you might have to fight, but I don't think you even have to fight them. I think you can just like run past them and grab the item and then leave. So yeah, basically just do that, and then you've got an item called Glenir's Smoke Ore. So where is it? Glenir. This one. So this is probably the best memento to use in the game. If you can use this one, the reason for this is it's got a cooldown of about 5 seconds. Cherry Blossom Twig, or Cherry Blossom Branch, also has about 7 seconds as a cooldown. They're both really good because some of these mementos, they have a truly ludicrous amount of time you have to wait to be able to use it again. As an example here, Bottomless Mead Mug. Oh, actually, wow, okay, that one's not too bad. I swear it was a lot longer. I mean, it's landed. Here you go. Here's an example of an annoying one. So you have to wait 30 seconds to be able to use it again. No, it's not that big of a deal, but these other ones you really don't have to worry about that much. You just use it like 5 seconds later and the whole endeavor's done. So I'll just also run real quick how to get to Malabar into Crimson Cove if you want to do that. Use the boatswains in Auridon. So start at Auridon, the same place you'd go to find the pier, except in this case you want to go to the other side of the docks. Talk to Selen Dilwyn here, tell her to take you to Reaper's March. You'll rock up right in the middle in Rolkar. From here you just talk to her again, tell her to take you to Malabar. You'll rock up in the middle here in Volquasten. Just go north, follow the road up here, jump down into the ocean when you get to this spot here, and then to travel over here, Crimson Cove's there. You're ready to go, basically. And just complete the quest there for Glenir, and you'll get the smoke orb, and you're ready to go. And yeah, no more time spent doing that, basically. Just as soon as you log in, Mementos is really easy to do from that point. You can see why I suggest that one over the others. Okay, structure finishings, also really easy. The only thing you need to spend money on is just a structure finishing. It just costs 100 gold, really easy. The house itself is free. So firstly, get yourself a house. This is for Landemery. This quest here, a house for rent, is that what it's called? Oh, sorry, Room to Spare. I can't believe I still don't remember it. So this quest, all you have to do to complete it is literally just talk to her. Just to say, accept your offer, you'll get this, you'll get some gold, and then there'll also be a house that shows up here if you haven't got them yet. Each alliance can get one house. The 3 that you can get can be found in the Maps tab, under Houses category here. These ones here under Collected will show up. So you'll either have this one, or this one. These 3. So each alliance gets one of these 3 here. So whichever one, it doesn't matter. They're all just as useful. You can click on them to find them on the map, left click, and travel inside. That's how you get there. But before you do that, just grab a structure furnishing real quick. So Rkugamz over here, over the other side of the tavern, she sells you a wood cutting block. This is a structure furnishing. This is the only thing I would personally get. Just one, that's all you need, and it's just really easy to use that one to place it 2 times. Now, there is also in the Golden Pursuit, you've got Visit Homes and Furnishings. So while you do this one, you should do these 2 if you haven't done them yet. So once you've got that structure furnishing for 100 gold, now you just travel to your house. So in this case, I'll just go to Autumn's Gate, because this is the one I usually use. So either you can travel to it straight from anywhere, basically outside of PvP areas, or you can go to a way shrine and it skips that initial travel animation. So if you're right next to a way shrine, do that. But if not, just don't worry too much about it. Just travel from wherever you are. Maybe if you're going to do the Atronachs one instead of Mementos, which is the one I'd personally do if you don't have enough gold for it, just do that after you kill the Atronachs, because yeah, you'll probably be in the middle of nowhere near a way shrine. Okay, so I've got a structure finishing here that I prepared earlier. So to find what you need, you just go to the housing menu, go to Browse, go to Structures here, find your item and place it on the ground. Now, if you just pick it up like this and place it, nothing happens. What you have to do is use Undo and Redo to do it real quick. That's what I suggest you do. So Undo to remove it back into your inventory, Redo to place it back on the ground. And you can just do that a bunch of times, 5 times over and over, to do the Furnishings endeavor in the Golden Pursuit. And now, what I'd advise you do to complete the Player Homes one is just go out the door and then go back in, do that a bunch of times, and that will complete the Player Homes one as well. So yeah, 3 really easy endeavors to do for very little effort, essentially. And now, what you do is just have that structure furnishing somewhere in one of your houses, and then anytime this endeavor comes up, just find that furnishing, and then pick it up, put it away, undo, redo, undo, and that will do the same thing, where it'll just progress it twice. So yeah, you don't need anything except for one furnishing. Some small houses will probably have some structure furnishings in it, but if you're not sure, just go to Rkugamz and just buy that one. It's only 100 gold, so it's not a big deal. Alright, Atronachs. This option here is not great. If you can spend the gold on doing these options here, I would highly advise you do it. But I'll still go through this one because it is free. So, Atronachs. Probably the best place to find them is in High Isle, using volcanic vents. Okay, so when a volcanic vent starts, there'll be 3 lava pools. From these pools here, you can see, as we see here, Atronachs. So this is one here. It's very random whether or not you'll find 1 or 2 or 3 or fucking 10, but you can find more than 5 in a single one of these. It's just going to be very random whether or not you get them. Now, this will be quite difficult doing volcanic vents on your own, especially if you pull multiple lava pools at once. But the odds are there will usually be other people helping you here. The hive golem, or these magma golems here, these don't actually count as iron atronachs. They're a different enemy altogether, and they're very tough. Their heavy attack is quite brutal, and yeah, just be prepared for a bit of a scrap if you find one of these things. The flame atronachs, when they're see-through like this, once they reach one of these lava pools, they turn into these big empowered versions, and they do become a bit of a menace. They're just mostly just very tanky though. Right, so here's one of the bosses. I hate the behemoths. That gap close, roll dodge it, don't block it. Because when you block it, it knocks you over and you cannot break free. It's really irritating. So maybe it'll spawn a couple of iron atronachs here. We'll see. Oh, there's one. Right there. What? Wait, he reset because of that? God. Fucking hell. That dude's rough. Okay, so there we go. Alright, and don't forget to loot the chest at the end. So there'll be this thing here, the volcanic cache. Don't think this actually counts as a treasure chest. Don't know for sure though. Alright, and then once that's done, you just run to the next way shrine, wait for one of these to spawn. It will have like a twin swords icon to indicate that it's up. Unfortunately, for you to be able to see that twin swords icon, you have to go and discover each of these volcanic vents. So I suggest you do that before you bother with this, just to spend the time to get this one done. To get the twin swords icon working, because yeah, otherwise you don't know which one's up at any time. Whereas that's a good way of indicating. So yeah, there's the next one. So you'd go over there and just repeat the process there. So again, it could take you one go, it could take you like 5. It's just random. Also, if you want to get to this side here to get these ones, you can use the Mementos station boat here to travel over to Mementos. That's usually how I get around here. Alright, option number 2, Fire of the Crimson Coin. We found at this public dungeon here on the east side of the main island of High Isle. In here, you can find Soul Razor Knights. You can find these things in other places, but this is the only place I know of that has a lot of them. Well, when I say a lot, there's probably like 8 or 6. So once you get inside here, just got this board here, turn around, go this way. Where this like red-eyed person here is, there is a Soul Razor Knight here, so you can fight one of these dudes. So yeah, they actually count as iron atronachs. So these are the two invisible wall. These are the 2 high isle options. So this one here, easy to get to and start off with, but if someone else is coming in here and killing this stuff, you won't have anything to use in here. You have to wait for it to respawn. That could take a while. The other option is in Greymore for as far as like iron atronachs go. But yeah, so naturally, either if you have high isle only, try this option here. If there's too many people running around, leave and just come around here and start unlocking the way shrines and getting the volcanic vents discovered, so you know which one's up. The next option is found in Western Skyrim here. Dragon Home, this one. Oh, that's a bit of a fucking track. Alright, so you'll need to run through a fair bit of this dungeon to reach the Iron Atronachs in here. But also it's worth noting that there are some Iron Atronachs that are in locations that might not be immediately obvious. And I'll show you an example here. So you can see this person here. They're getting this Draugr ready. I don't think this gives you an Iron Atronach if you kill them. It doesn't. But there are other people doing rituals, and some of these rituals can give you an Iron Atronach. So I think they're getting another Draugr over here. They're coming into this room here. You'll see these 2 people doing a ritual here. If you kill these guys, they spawn an Iron Atronach. It starts off with Flame Atronachs, but after these ones are dead, it should spawn one. Yep, there it is. So there are, I think, 6 in here, maybe 5. I'm not 100% on the 6th one, but there are a bunch of them just roaming around, and there's also some that are available through these like ritual casters. So there's one there. Keep running through. There's another room further in here, which has one of these. I think it's this room here. Yeah, has these ritual stones. I believe these people are also casting for a Iron Atronach and Flame Atronach combo. Yeah, so there's the Flame Atronachs. Kill these guys, and there should be another Iron Atronach here. There it is. Okay, so yeah, the only things that matter are the roaming Iron Atronachs in here, this summoning point, and this summoning point. They're the only things that actually give you Iron Atronachs in here, as far as I'm aware. Because yeah, this summoning point, this one, they give you Air Atronachs and Storm Atronachs, so they're not the ones you're looking for. Yeah, this place is another potentially good option, because yeah, it's like this one I find there's not a lot of people doing it because they're not too familiar with the stuff in this dungeon. But all it takes is for one person who knows that, and then you're waiting for them to bloody respawn, and it can be a pain. But that is another potential option. Getting to that dungeon, though, is a pain, which could be potentially a good reason to do it, because there are no home tours houses you can use to get near here. You have to use Solitude Docks Way Shrine and just head straight there. You don't have to follow the road, though. You can just kind of like cut straight through here. I think this bit here is the only bit you have to actually follow the road a bit. But yeah, get that Way Shrine, and then you've got Dragon Home. Now, I'll go through the base game option, which, if this is the only option you've got, I would personally steer clear. One reason for that is Forgotten Waste is all the way over here. Naturally, using the first Way Shrine you unlock in Vardenfell to get over here is a pain. There is, however, a house through home tours you can get. It's called Kushalet Sanctuary. You can find it here. That is one. That is what I would suggest you use to get here for the first time if you've never been before. Right. So when it says that the monstrosities wander the volcanic wastes of Vardenfell, they don't wander in the overland. Hive Golems don't actually count as Iron Atronachs. The only place you can find them in Vardenfell is Forgotten Waste. It sucks, because this place here is just packed with people constantly as soon as this endeavor comes up. And there's only 4 options. No, there's 5, I believe. You have to run through a pretty significant part of the initial area of the dungeon, but here's an Iron Atronach here. That's the first one you can find. So this is right here. Now, just next to this Iron Atronach, there's also this group boss here, group event, Mountain Caller Hilarion. This one here, if you can defeat these guys and summon each of these people here down, they summon Iron Atronachs. The problem is, when this place is going to be busy, inevitably, as it is with whenever the Iron Atronachs option comes up, the other players tend to just fucking obliterate these guys before they can even do anything. But they all summon Iron Atronachs, which can die, which you can use as well. I'm pretty sure they all summon them over and over and over again. But again, they don't stay alive long enough for it to work. Like the other players just kill them constantly. So that is an option if you're on your own. You can potentially use that, and the Iron Atronach down here. But whether they'll be alive and you can do that is completely a different thing. Because I guarantee everything fucking here is going to be constantly dying. Because there will be a lot of players here. Now, the next 3 are found in the actual insides of Forgotten Wastes, Forgotten Depths. So you have to go this way to get to these 2, and then you have to go up the scaffolding here to get to Forgotten Depths. There'll be another couple of groups of enemies as you come through here. What you're looking for is you come up this way, up the stairs here. There'll be another door with a couple of enemies. You just skip them if you can. So, Caverns of Kogarun, this is what you're looking for. So once you get in here, there'll be an Iron Atronach right here. There'll be another one over here. And then there'll be one more up the path here, just a little bit. Should be right here. I think that person there is killing it. So there's one that patrols this section here. I think they just spawned then. There it is. That's another one. That one. So as far as I'm aware, that is every single Iron Atronach in this area. There is a Hive Golem upstairs, but I got a 6th health ribbon, whatever it is. So yeah, that's it. That's kind of it as far as Iron Atronachs go. There is a Delve in High Isle that also has one more. Sorry, just a couple. There's only like 3 or 4. And that Delve is a pain in the ass to get to. You might as well just do the Volcanic Vents in that case, I think. Alright, so now time for the Golden Vendor. This weekend, we've got Bar-Sakka and Sentinel of Rkugamz shoulders. Now, as always, I don't think buying shoulders here is a good idea. The reason for that is you can buy these from the Undaunted NPCs anytime with keys. There's no pay-gated issues with buying the shoulders. The helms are the things that you might have issues with. So naturally, the only thing that I think is really worth here is the helms that are from DLCs that you don't own. In this case, it's shoulders. So yeah, I personally wouldn't buy these, but I'll still talk about the sets because yeah, it's quite interesting, I think. So firstly, Bar-Sakka. This is probably one of the most disappointing monster sets they've added recently. So the very first thing you need to look at on this tooltip is the last sentence. Damage done scales off your max health and cannot critically hit. So damage dealers, healers, not going to be making much use out of this. It's designed for tanks, right? And the issue here is you got to think of practical applications for roll dodge, because roll dodge stops you from being able to cast abilities, block, just like do most stuff for a moment. And in a lot of cases, being able to cast skills constantly as a tank, like in high-end content, which is probably the point in which you're doing the content to get Bar-Sakka, you need to constantly be doing shit. And there's just not going to be many places where you want to roll dodge. Like heavy attacks from bosses, say as an example, Tideborn Teleria, right? Her heavy attack, the best thing to do is roll dodge, because I think the only thing it does is puts like a little whirlpool on the ground, and the whirlpool does fuck all. But like, when you do that, you're not usually surrounded by lots of enemies at the same time, so you're not going to get much out of this, because that is a big shield, but you need to hit a lot of enemies for it to work. And usually, like, you only really roll dodge when you're getting hit by heavy attacks. Like, the only time I can think of that being a practical solution is when you're dealing with ad groups in a dungeon. And there's still better sets to deal with ad groups in that case for monster sets. So, and the other thing is getting out of AoEs, which is the more hilarious one, right? You can use roll dodge to get out of an AoE if you don't have a snare remover. I assume tanks and high-end content are probably going to have ways to get rid of snares. But yeah, if there's like a big AoE, you can just roll dodge to immediately get out of it. That's what some people do. But at the same time, there's probably not going to be anything in the AoE for the blood pool to hit. So I just don't really see this being practical for a lot of stuff. And then you look at PvP, right? Firstly, the magic damage should be halved. And also, you have to take into the extra resistances that players are going to have. You would need to have a lot of people hit this. Like, 15,000, the shield is also halved. So the effect is fucking even worse. But like what? So it's probably like 300 damage a player. You'd need like 15, 20 players in that 6 meter pool of blood to get the full shield. That would take... The odds of that happening are like just ridiculous. So yeah, just don't really see this being a set that you ever want to bother with, which is weird because it's one of the newest dungeons in the game. So you'd think they would at least consider this sort of thing. But yeah, there are a lot of sets in this game and they probably don't have many options left. But yeah, not a set you ever want to look at, I think. Rkugamz, on the other hand, this is actually really good. So heal people, puts a spider on the ground, the spider runs to a location and puts like a little green circle on the floor. If your teammates stand in it, they recover resources. So healers can run this alongside things like it's competing with Symphony of Blades. I think Symphony of Blades is better, but until you get Symphony of Blades, this is sort of like the second best option for giving players resources that is monster set related. there are other monster sets you can use as a healer, which will work really well. But for base game, this I personally think is probably your most useful as a healer. So yeah, really, really good. But again, it's a shoulder. I wouldn't get it, especially since it's a base game one. I wouldn't get the helmet either, because Dark Shakehaven's one, really easy to do, even on veteran. So yeah, I wouldn't really get this. Okay, so now on to the necklaces. So we've got Bright Throat. This one is from Merkmeyer. It's an overland one, so you can buy this on guild stores if you want. This used to be decent. It was used pretty frequently in PvP back then. Witch Mother's Potent Brew was one of the... They didn't have any of the golden tier foods. I think they had Smoked Bear Haunch, but that wasn't as good back then. So it was used in PvP quite a long time ago, but they changed a lot of things, and it's really not something you want to look at anymore, especially with things like Wretched Vitality in this day and age. That's sort of been a replacement for it, because it's so much easier to get and so much easier to use. But yeah, if you have a magic build, use drinks. It could be good, but I would still just buy it from guild stores, not from here, because yeah, it's not a good set anymore. It's not going to perform better than things you could just craft naturally, because yeah, there's also, like, if you're worried about magicka, you can get things that do much more damage than giving yourself 2000 max magicka. And if you want recovery, there are a lot of other things you can do. You can get foods, you can get champion points that give you recovery, you got all sorts of stuff. Not really something you want to worry about. Full Killer. This is probably one of the most interesting and actually decent sets I've seen in a while. So, blocking. The only thing is, it's only really going to be useful to you in a dungeon, because yeah, 3 group members. But 5,700 resources, both resources, every 30 seconds, that equates to roughly 190 of each. So if you want a good support set for a tank, this isn't that bad. The only thing is, Full Killer, I'm pretty sure this is quite new. Yeah, the Cauldron. So it's an advanced dungeon, so at that point, you've got other options, I'd say. But it's not bad. The only thing is, it's also direct damage. There's probably, like, in boss fights, probably not going to be a huge amount of things hitting your players with direct damage. It's usually mostly going to be damage over time. But in, like, ad pools, you're probably going to have, like, little minions that you aren't able to taunt in time that hit your team. So that's probably going to apply it there. So it's not bad. It's not amazing. I probably wouldn't buy this on guild stores, because, you know, you have to do the dungeon anyway for the weapons and the armor. So yeah, as a set, it's actually, it seems good, but I haven't been able to use this one myself. And yeah, it can occur. The damage shield can occur every 10 seconds, but if it breaks, the 30-second rule applies, and then it gives resources. So yeah, quite an interesting set, but yeah, just a bit wacky. I wouldn't use this in trials, but in a group, it might be fun to use. Because yeah, there's nothing wrong with giving your team back magic and stamina. I'm assuming, because it says the wearer of the shield, I'm assuming this is relating to whoever had the shield at the time, which means you can, when your teammates get it, if they get the shield removed, that's how it works. And they could just, like, kind of deliberately do things. Like, maybe there's like an environmental effect that applies direct damage that you can automatically apply the thing on, and that way you can get a lot of resources back. Though there are simpler ways to get resources back, but this is, yeah, like I said, it seems like an interesting, fun set. So, yeah. Milligalig's Amulet. This one here, where does this one come from? I've never even heard of this one. Troll Area, that's probably why I've never done that dungeon before. Okay, so, Milligalig. So, I did read up this one here a little bit. There's, like, niche applications where you can use things like Sap Essence, and I think Living Trellis, or whatever the base thing of that is. You could use it there, but to get a overheal amount of 3,300, you have to overheal 10k. That's a lot to constantly apply to a teammate. And it only applies to one person at a time. Yeah, it can occur once every 10 seconds. It's not per player every 10 seconds. It's just 10 seconds in general. In a group, it might be like a 4-man group, it might be okay, but in a trial, it is abysmal. I think if they changed it so that it applies to, like, you can only apply it every 10 seconds to a single player, like to each specific player, and then reduce the amount of damage it deals, that might be interesting. But as it stands now, it's not at a good place. That amount of damage on a single person's not really going to do much. In solo play, using, like I said, there's like niche applications where you can use certain skills that are direct heals that might, that are like, if you deal damage, they work really well, because the heal scales off the damage you do. So in that case, it might be interesting, but yeah, as it stands, there's not really many good cases for this set. And you're not really going to be getting anything here that you wouldn't get otherwise, just using damage sets and, yeah, just still using those heals naturally. So yeah, it's probably not one I would use. Undertaker, quite possibly one of the least useful sets in the game, because let me show you a simple skill that you can get basically at level 10 without any effort. Blood Altar. This thing applies minor lifesteal to everything in a 28 meter radius. You do not need this set. It's just that skill alone completely invalidates this set. So yeah, I just would not apply that, because like minor lifesteal, 600 health every 1 second. That is so little healing. So yeah, and the whole point of Blood Altar is people don't use it as much for the heal. It's the synergy as well. Being able to use Blood Funnel is fucking amazing. Probably one of the best oh shit buttons in the game. So you want to use this anyway. So just don't use this set. It's not worth it. You can buy it, but I would never. I read a comment on Reddit where it was like, the only reason I buy this set is to deconstruct it for the style material it gives. So yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. So, like, if it was like a unique healing buff, then absolutely it would probably be interesting or like even good. But minor lifesteal is like one of the least useful things. And even if you don't want to use fucking Blood Altar, you also have a affix script for lifesteal. I need to find it. Is it under? There we are, lifesteal. So you can also get this from a couple of grimoires in the Scrubbing Skill. So yeah, that's just, you can also get it from another skill in Restoration Staff, I'm pretty sure. So weapon, Restoration Staff, Force Siphon. Not that anyone ever uses this because of Blood Altar. This just goes to show how bad the actual buff is usually. So yeah, you could use this as well if you really want to get this buff. Just seriously, don't ever look at that set. It's not good. Okay, that's everything for this set of endeavors and the Golden Vendor, so I'll leave it there. If you have any questions, you know the drill, just give me a holler. Thanks everyone for watching, thanks for your support as always, wish you all a good weekend, and take care for now. Whoa, cat, what are you doing?